Hey, this is Brian Rogers for BBK Performance to show you how to add even more horsepower, torque, and throttle response to your 2005 to 2010 4.6-liter 3-valve Mustang GT using our chrome Shorty tune length headers, part number 1612. We begin with the baseline dyno run. (260 rear wheel horsepower and 266 foot-pounds of torque). Begin the installation by disconnecting the battery, then removing the inlet tube from the cold air induction system. Unbolt and remove the dipstick tube. Turn the steering wheel until the coupling bolt underneath the hood is accessible with a long extension and a socket. Remove the bolt, then under the dashboard, pull back on the black collar to release the top portion of the steering shaft. You'll also need to remove any strut tower brace that may be installed on the vehicle, since we're going to need to lift the engine a few inches in the following steps. Remove the nuts that hold the motor mounts to the frame rails, and remove as many nuts as you can from the stock exhaust manifolds while under the hood. Lift the car and loosen the 4 bolts on the exhaust clamps. Then pull back and disconnect the tailpipe sections from the midpipe, and unplug the 4 oxygen sensors. Note that the passenger side front oxygen sensor is difficult to access from under the car. We use a long pair of pliers, but to make things really easy, you can access this by hand by pulling the battery out of its tray. Remove the 4 nuts that attach the midpipe to the stock exhaust manifolds, then pull the midpipe out of the car. Remove the bottom bolt on the steering shaft where it attaches to the steering rack. Then pull up on the steering shaft to remove it from the vehicle. Remove the 3 mounting bolts for the starter and allow it to rest on the K-member. Jack up the motor carefully until the motor mounts come up and over the studs in the frame rails, and be sure to place your jack on a solid part of the engine block and never jack up by the oil pan itself. Unbolt and remove the motor mounts from the engine block. Then unbolt and remove the stock exhaust manifolds and the gaskets. And use caution when handling these gaskets. They're made of layers of thin metal and can easily cut through skin. Now transfer the oxygen sensors over to the BBK headers. Inspect the BBK headers and notice that there are some mounting holes that are covered by the header tubes where the long stock mounting studs will obviously not work. In these locations, you're going to need to remove the studs from the heads and replace them with the supplied bolts during the installation process. Hang the BBK gaskets on the remaining studs, then install the BBK headers and tighten them down. Reinstall the starter and the motor mounts. Then lower the engine back onto the motor mounts and tighten the nuts that attach the motor mounts to the frame rails. Plug in the front driver's side oxygen sensor. Since this video is focused on the headers, we're going to stick with the stock midpipe today, but you can visit our website for the X-pipe installation videos. Part numbers are 1769 and 1770. Reconnect the oxygen sensors and reinstall the steering shaft. Reinstall the dipstick tube. And if you have a strut tower brace, you can put that back on too. Reinstall the inlet hose, and you're done. Now let's see what these BBK headers do on the dyno. Well, here you can see that these Shorty headers, when paired with the stock midpipe, stock mufflers, and the stock tune, add an average of 10 horsepower and 15 foot-pounds of torque all the way across the graph. But while looking at these results, it's important to note that headers have exponential potential. As you further improve your exhaust system with the BBK high flow midpipe and our very tuned axle back kit, you'll net nearly triple the gains.
For more information on this or any of the hundreds of parts that BBK makes for late model cars and trucks, check out bbkperformance.com. Here on the left, try our multiple search options or watch fun and informative product detail and installation videos. Up here on the top, use the tabs to order or download the latest catalog, find a dealer in your area, or read and download from our instruction sheet library that covers 20 plus years of BBK products. Don't forget to check out our homepage and blog to see what's new. Thanks for watching.